All right, good morning, pumpers from Battleground, Washington. It's about 10:20 this morning. I'm making this little video for my buddy Ryan in Florida. I wanted to say, first and foremost, when I first started my business, this is my first truck. And so this was my service van for a long time. So I know what you're going through and the pains that you have. But there's a couple things I wanted to show you. A lot of stuff you probably do know about. Now, on that pump replacement you did, something that would have probably come in real handy in the 2-inch size was a Fernco. Fernco would have worked great in between those 290s. That way, just slice the pipe right down the middle, put these two on, and that works great for those tight situations where you just can't get a normal union in. Like one of these where they split apart. Now, there's a couple of different things I wanted to show you because I didn't know if you knew about them. So we have checkmates. So these are really cool. All you got to do is watch your flow because there's a check valve here and then there's a shutoff valve here. But you have two unions you can disconnect from. Now, this wouldn't have worked so well with your Liberty LE51A solids handling job. This would have been too big, but it also can be mounted vertical too, so inside the tank, but that's kind of cumbersome. That's pretty awkward. I would have probably just done a Fernco or a union on the outside of the tank, but these are pretty dang cool. Come an 1.5 inch and up to 2 inch. We carry all of our pump switches and control switches and pumps as well, and blowers and UV bulbs and high head blowers, 2-stage blowers for new waters, stones for emitters, ultraviolet disinfection bulbs. That's what we have here in the shop. But now in the vans, now I'm not going to clean my van. We had a rough week and I got to grease up my trucks today. In my vans, I've got, my jetting equipment this is for like inch all the way up to about 2.5 inch line for drain fields and stuff. Then there's my jetter there. Then I can go up to 6 inches with that. I have all the lids back there, so you can't see them. They're all secure because I can't stand them rattling around. So I carry 3 24-inch lids, 2 18s, 2 21s, and I don't carry a 30 in the truck. It's rare we get 30 inches, but the shop has them if I need them. My toolbox, and I carry all my tips for my jetter. Also carry my Liberty Omnivore. I just sold it, so I have another one on order. My Provore sits behind there. That's my Provore 115 volt grinder. We also stock 4 baffles. This normally doesn't sit here. It just was reminding me to put it back in the truck. They usually sit strapped up back there. Carry a set of chains because it can get ugly. There's my Liberty line, so I carry two 283s. I don't carry the 250s. They're too small. I have problems. Carry a new timer. Back there's my Champion CPE 512. My other one, which is here, goes in there, so when I get this cleaned out. There's my disinfector, ultraviolet disinfection bulbs is here. There's my solids handling pump, my LE51A that you installed a couple days ago. And this is my transducer for Aquaworks control panels. And also my control switches and my on-off switches. And then also I do carry a 240 volt switch. That's for the Omnivore or big pumps for turning on and off, because even though these say they're rated for 120 volts, we've had them get fried because it's just too much. And then what else do I carry in here? My lights. And then I also carry one of these cool things. There's my harness, so I can go down into tanks. My tripod is in there. Behind the toolbox on the floor, those are my blowers, my Makita jackhammer. I also have my Husqvarna concrete saw. And so in my van, I've got everything all sorted out. I got spare garbage bags and stuff, towels, earplugs back there, gloves. That's somebody's disinfection bulb exploded. Here's my blower, my light. We start with 1 inch, then we go to 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches. That's drain pipe. Then this light is just in here because there's room for it here. But these are my bushings, so anytime I need to increase or decrease my sizes, 1.5 inches. These are my checkmates, like I showed you on the shelf back there. So as we use stuff out of the vans, we go to the shop, we restock at the end of the night, and then once a month I have to have my shop restocked. And these are expansion couplers. Don't know if anybody's seen these. A lot of people have seen these. Some people haven't. So when you have a break underground, the last thing you want to do is dig a humongous line so you can put a coupler in. You know, one of these. So you wouldn't want to dig up the whole line to just, you know, get enough pull to shove that in there. It's really hard to do that with these. These are a little expensive, but they're great. All you got to do is dig out this little section, and then you cut out a section equal to this, and then I can't hold my camera, but there. And then they glue on. See, it expanded. So then you expand it and glue it at the same time. Those are great little expansion things. All right. Let's go to the other side. These are my lockout tag out. So anytime we're changing out a city sewer lift station tank, and I got to go down in the tank, you know, we got hasps. So all the guys have got keys and locks, and they lock it out. Everybody has to follow the rules when we're going down a tank. So we got electricians and plumbers. They will all put their locks on it, and then the guy who's working on that pump can't get hurt. So now, so that's my locate. So my ProTech locator, I have it taped to a fish tape. I carry all kinds of fern coes and stuff. Fern coes, because they come in handy just when you're like, you can't get something worked out. Usually a fern coe can help you. Let's see, got my Dremel, my Aquaworks control computer. So this is anybody works on Aquaworks computers, sometimes they need rebuilt. Like sometimes, so I got a brand new board and I got brand new stuff in there. And let's see, that's my fuel for my Husqvarna. We used to run premix that I made myself, but for some reason the saw didn't like it, so we actually pay 30 bucks a gallon or whatever that is. But I've never had a problem since. This is the same stuff that the fire department uses. They never have any problems. There's my masks back there. Miscellaneous tools here. This is my computer to read the Aquaworks computer control panel. Some new Orenco screens. Let's see what up my Sawzall. Miscellaneous tools, another transducer, butane torch. Then up here, miscellaneous plumbing. So I always carry just a little of everything. I do have road fabric in there too. Garden hose. There's a canopy here. This is my Salcor bulbs for Salcor disinfection. I also carry some Cat 5 cable in case I hit a phone line. That's always fun. Let me see, come out the back of my service van. Normally this is all clean, but we had a rough week, and I got to grease trucks today. There's shovels, rakes, digging bars, hammers, my sludge judge. And that pretty much is the whole rundown of the back of my service van. Now, I know what it's like working out of the back of the truck. I've done it, did it for years. Try not to be so defensive, though, because, you know, yeah, there's some ball busting, but we're just trying to help each other. You know, my grandpa used to tell me years ago, if you have more time than money, well, you're going to have to save your money and actually take your time. And that's what we did. So when we had First Call running in the back of this truck, I only used to get one job a day. So I would go out, do that job. Yeah, I'd make a parts list, and then I'd go get the parts at Lowe's or something. Then I'd come back and put it all together, and it was only one job a day. But then eventually you'll have more money than time. And so what ends up happening is you're doing really good. You're making lots of money, but you don't have enough hours of the day to get all your work done. That's when you have to start thinking, I've got to become more efficient, and you can't possibly put all that stuff in that truck. So that's where the service vans were born, when that started happening. And then now, I mean, we can pretty much pull up into anything in the service van. As long as they didn't ignore their alarm, we can just fix it right there and then. But if they ignored their alarm and they flood the whole system out, we just call for a pumper to pump it before we fix it. Anyway, that's what the inside of my service van looks like, guys. And right now it's trashed, but today it's greasing time. So there's my pail pump there. It shoots grease, and that's how I grease my trucks. I bought that many years ago. That's a great investment for greasing trucks. I used to do every kind of air-operated, power-operated grease guns. I got these things up here, and they're just garbage. I've never had one that didn't get locked up with air. And so those lock up with air all the time, and I'd get really upset and throw it across the shop. Once I upgraded to a pail pump, it doesn't have any problems with air locking up. and just making it not work. So if anybody's looking for a fast way, and that's fast, that thing can grease your truck quick. Anyway, I hope everybody has a good day. Happy Sunday, pumpers.